So you must be Marie from the National Tribune that likes to print the garbage about UFOs, Elvis, and Bigfoot's baby, right? Well, staff here told me you'd be coming, and because of what your paper reports is the only reason why I'm agreeing to do this interview to begin with. I want to ask where to start, but basically start from the beginning. Back in 2003, 2004, my first wife kind of cheated on me and things were bad. So I was on a end myself situation. Didn't care if I lived or died. Decided to try and join the Navy. So I did really good on all the ASVAB tests, you know. High marks, high scores. Outside of my social life, I had lots of achievements for marksmanship and stuff. So that was the easy part. Went for the physical and found out I forgot about a torn cartilage in my knee from when I was a kid. I was trying to steal a gas tank out of a car, the junk car for a race car we were building. My brother was building, and the car fell on top of me, and I was pinned from the waist down. Forgot all about that, and that showed up on the X-ray, so I didn't qualify for the Navy. Fortunately, they called home when I was on a train home from the physical. Told my mom about it. My mom thought I had a kind of bad accident. She was all flipping out. I was like, no, it's all right. It's old injury from when I was a kid, you know. So I thought that would be the end of my career. Well, a couple of weeks go by, I get a phone call from a man who was called my handler. I don't know what little term you want to use for it. Basically, he said I didn't qualify for the conventional Navy, but if I was interested, he could hire me on which department, which is now known Department of Homeland Security, as a subcontractor for a company called Eco Reclamation. $1,000 a week, cash, no taxes. Paid for my food, paid for my medical, paid for my entertainment and housing. 3 months on, 2 weeks off, year-to-year contract. What the hell? It's good money. I'm not going to sniff at $1,000 a week tax-free, so I took it. A couple weeks later, I got a phone call from Sergeant Blue. Not Blue, Blau, Blue. And he set me up for training, military training with the Navy, because they didn't have that many recruits, and it'd be easier to sneak me and others in the program into it for 4 weeks of basic training with them. Now, it's great, so I'm figuring, all right, I'm kind of in the military, I'm going to have always great benefits. No, you don't get any medical benefits. You don't get any military benefits. Basically, if anything happens to you, they don't know who you are, and they send you along your way. So I was cool with that. Like I said, I didn't particularly care at that point if I lived or I didn't. It made no difference to me. So I signed up for the job, and they gave me a title, or as they say in my cover, logistics. I had my college degree in communications, but they said communications and logistics was my cover story. I'd be a truck driver. So they give me various jobs, driving school bus, driving for moving companies and delivering stuff. And that was because, it'd be easy to pull me out of those positions and stick me someplace else. And at the end of the basic training, we got our ID, and I got a real DHS badge with a signed number. And basically, I considered it my get out of jail free card. What the hell? So, it wasn't until I was into it for about, 3 or 4 weeks, I got called up for my first assignment. And then I realized what we were doing wasn't the stuff that the government wanted to be tied to, and they didn't want the general public to be aware of. Yeah, we cleaned up environmental situations, either natural or man-made. They didn't, the public wouldn't be able to understand it or comprehend it. Um, Generally, people individually are intelligent, but in large groups, we tend to be more emotional. And the witch hunt effect takes place where things that we can't rationalize and put into normal groups, we tend to hunt and destroy, and then chaos pursues. And my job was to take chaos and make it normal, make it average. And that's what we were signed to do. Basically, everything that goes bump in the night, you don't really need to go see what it is. Yeah, so job ages people very fast. Believe it or not, I'm not as old as I look. Um, People in my group seem not to live very long and age very fast once we start working. As a matter of fact, I got the name Old Man because within 3 years, 29 of my comrades had died from natural causes, strange natural causes like advanced cancer, which wasn't detected 6 months before, strokes, accidents, or punched their own ticket and took their own way out. Now, if you believe 29 of those, 29 deaths like that within a year or two is coincidence, then I've got a big tower in Paris I'd like to sell you real cheap. So, yeah, it ages us very quickly. I'm barely in. I'm not even old enough to qualify for a senior citizens discount, but yet I look like I'm in my 60s. And that tells you how quickly it ages you in a very short time. So, well, first story I can tell you about happened in North Dakota in a small town called Recent, not too far from the Theodore Roosevelt State Park or National Park, whichever it is. A call came in from a young lady named Patty. She was an Uber driver during the day, and at night she did DoorDash, enough to get her by. She told us about this one client she had every night at 1 a.m. She would get this one DoorDash that'd pay her $100 to deliver one cold beverage. She used to go to a place called Bob's Restaurant and Butcher, home of the best meats, and all she picked up was one drink in a bag. Never saw the customer, left it at his doorstep, paid her the $100 Bitcoin. Who's to complain? She did this for 3 or 4 months, and then she just accidentally dropped the bag and spilled the drink and realized the drink was red in color, thick and viscous. Had a very metallic smell, kind of like copper, and that raised her eyebrows, and she started to worry, what the hell am I doing? Delivering for a fucking cannibal here? Cow blood? Pig's blood? Freaky. So she reached out to the company I worked for, which it's called Eco Reclamation. We clean up the crap in the environment that the government and the regular people can't be around, don't need to be around, or would want to even comprehend being around. So we set up, and first thing we had her do was pick up another one of these cups, send it to us, have it analyzed. So our scientific division ran it through their battery tests in the laboratory, and come to find out it was human blood. Human blood. Okay? That's enough to drive anybody a little suspicious, a little insane. So I got our eyebrows raised, and they want us to go and investigate it and watch it a little more. And we set surveillance up outside this customer's house. Try not to raise any eyebrows. What's going on here? Every night she drop it off. Every night she leave. Man would come out and you'd see a hand appear out the door. Just a hand. A long arm attached to a hand. Tiny, wrinkly, old fingers like bone. Almost like a skeleton hand. He'd grab it, pull it in. You'd never see who it was. We watched that house 24/7 and never once did we see this man ever come outside in the daylight. I know what you're thinking. We were all joking how it's a vampire. Vampires ain't real. You know that. No way it could be a vampire. And then all the reports started coming in. Missing people, missing children, vanished without a trace. A few weeks later, we had a full response on that town taking a look. See what was going on with those missing kids, missing children. Anywhere from 2 years old to 5, 6 years old. Missing adults, all elderly, in their 60s, senior citizens plus. Just gone missing. Nobody knows where they are, what happened to them. Kind of makes you think, doesn't it, Murray? What in God's name could really be going on in that small town in North Dakota? Yeah. That's about all the time I got for today, Marie. But if you want more, on full disclosure, come back once you can, make another appointment, and we'll get to telling you the rest of the story.